Good morning. I'm Keith B, and I'm a shadow of who I once was. Let's talk about Paul, capital P, Phoenix. Or is it Phoenix? I've never known. So, Paul was just newly buffed, and I think it's a good time to talk about him. He's an interesting character, I think. He's a legacy Tekken character, so he's a little bit... he's got the safe down forward 2, arguably the best safe down forward 2. Because while it doesn't launch crouchers, it's got really good range for a safe down forward 2. And it's got this nasty habit of just kind of going under jabs and magic fours and other highs. It's not a high crush. It just kind of, he bobs that head a little bit when he does it. So that right there, a safe evasive down forward 2 that launches is really good. He's also got a bevy of kill you in the face mids, which have mostly been turned into heat engagers in this game. That was a high one, but this is the mid option here. I can't do sway for some reason. There we go. Wait. Oh, I see what's happening. I'm doing forward 2 out of sway. I'm hitting the forward 2 early, so I'm getting his forward 2. Anyway, sway 2, giant kill you mid heat engager that also knocks down anyway. Same thing with Death Fist. Still has pretty good damage on that Death Fist. A little bit reduced given that he can, you know, cancel it for a dash. But still very strong mid-game. He's also got stuff like his forward 4, homing heat engager. He's got his up back 2. Sends you flying. Then he's also, to complement those mids, you gotta have some lows. He does have a low heat smash, which is a premium option. That's kind of a powered up version of his Demo Man, right? His Demo Man looks like this. Now, the thing about Demo Man is, it's only gonna trip if he clean hits. So if he's not point blank, even if it clips you, see, it doesn't trip, so he doesn't get the combo. So, if he wants to use this outside of the wall, he's got to dash in and do it, which would be a weakness, except he doesn't have to do it outside of the wall at all, because he has sidestep 3, which on counter hit, well, +4 on normal hit, on counter hit, guaranteed follow-ups. He's got, that's not a low, he's got quarter circle forward 3 with incredible range, which on counter hit gives him guaranteed follow-ups. Normally it's going to be 0 on hit, but he's using this usually a little bit further out as like a keep out option. Also this low, only -14. Usually the counter hit launching tracking lows are going to be launch punishable. Not in the case of Paul. Gets a nice grip of damage off both these moves. He's also got back 4, which has pretty good range, and his +4. None of these lows are seeable. So his low game is actually pretty well rounded. So he's built for the 50-50 style of gameplay. He's going to hit you with some lows, then he's going to deck you with some mids and do his heat business to you. In heat, Paul's moves that he can charge gain a guard break on him, so that's pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure what follow-ups he gets. I thought he would get back one. I was probably just late. So he's got the guard break stuff in heat to make him even more menacing. Yeah, he's just kind of generally a menace. He's got a nice plus frame option with forward 1+2, the Hammer of the Gods. Now that this does a shit ton of chip and is chargeable, it really is the Hammer of the Gods. On the current patch 1.05, this move is actually busted on counter hit. Like, he can get, there's no scaling on this first hit. So, like, he can get some wild combos if you know the combo routes. I got 80 doing a Tekken 7 combo mid-screen, so no scaling on the counter hit here. That's going to go away. They're going to take that away. His while running 2, when he gets the wall, the ground break off of the wall running 2, that also has no scaling. If that were to explode the ground and pop him back up, that has like no scaling. They're going to change that. They won't let him keep that. Sorry, Paul Mains. But right now, those things are kind of busted. What is really strong is just his general game plan here. His general game plan of, he's actually got, like, he doesn't have the fastest pokes. His pokes are a little slow. 14 frame, down 4-1. 14 frame, down 1, which has the full crouch option. Also has some very old extensions. The down 1-2 is now chargeable, which is cool. Fun fact about down 1-4, it's -17 on hit. You can launch him if he doesn't finish it. It's just a fun Paul fact that's been that way for as long as I can remember. His 1-2 is also pretty nice. His 1-jab isn't the craziest. Like, it hits from, like, what, range 2? Which is pretty solid in this game. And but he's got the 1-2, and the 1-2, the second hit, hits from, like, another area code. And his 1-2's +8. And he's +8 with a bunch of lows that he can use to harass you and mids that kill you. So that's good. His down 4-1's only +4, but he can cancel it into sway. And he's got a bevy of options outside of sway. In the stances section, I'll cover how to actually handle this sway pressure that he can do. It's kind of complicated. I guess if he has a weakness, he used to have a 12 frame homing move. This is no longer homing. So you can sidestep right a lot of his shit. In fact, like his down 4-2 you can sidestep right, his down 4-1 you can sidestep right. Generally, like, Death Fist and Rubber Band Attack are linear, though because they come out of these movements, he could always, like, do a quick crouch cancel or a just delay to try to add some, to realign on you with those moves. The stuff that will beat the sidestep 2 would be like 4-4-2, which he can hit confirm into the knockdown. He could throw, like, he just rip shredder kicks, because that'll track. It's a little slow, so if they step guard, you know, you can step guard the shredder situation if your movement's really tight. Or you could just back 3 as well. I don't see too many Paul players do this, but it does track. I think probably the big thing he's going to use is Sway 4, which is a +1 on block homing that also counter hit launches. Like, there's really very little reason to not use this. It's 15 frames. Even if they step guard it, cool. I'm just going to keep doing this. And to complement these nice little, like, you know, +3, +1, he has a complete throw game that he can go to, including a homing to command throw. So that's kind of a premium thing. So what are you supposed to do here, other than guess for your life? Well, I guess the thing to do against Paul is gonna be take advantage of the fact that his pokes are a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow. It's a little bit old school. Keeps it 90s style, and force him. If you start pressuring Paul, in order to get you off of him, he's gonna have to throw a power crush or like some sort of evasive or risky thing that you can then punish. He's got a lot of defensive options, but they're not like the safest defensive options. So he's kind of you know, I don't know. Some people consider Paul a defensive character. I'm not sure if I do in Tekken 8, but he definitely has the defensive options there, and you kind of want to, like, just like fighting Asuka or Yoshi, you want to force him into using the defensive things, because, like, he has a 12 frame mid, but it's -16, you know, like that kind of thing. So bait and punish the defensive options by just getting in his face and doing to him the pressure before he can do it to you. Because once he gets his low games going, if you let Paul start hitting you with lows, he's gonna death fist you or shredder kick you or sway to you, and it's gonna get real bad from there. Like, bad things are gonna happen. So when you're spaced out a little bit against Paul, he's gonna use a lot of this Cortical 4-3 because it has good tracking. So he can kind of jail your movement a little bit, and it's got really good range, so it's hard to always get away from it at ranges where, like, you're playing Tekken, and you're like, let me backdash, okay, I'm gonna sidestep. So it's just kind of like goading you into doing something, right? That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to, like, kind of swing into him a little bit. And once you start doing that, that's where he can start hitting you with his mids. Oh, crap. The mids got me. So, it's... And then you're like, okay, well, I can jab, right? Well, we'll talk about all his sway pressure in a little bit. And what kind of options you have. So, yeah, that's kind of Paul in a nutshell. He's very simple but effective character. You can step right. He's got some options to that. And his quarter circle forward 3 really gives him some oppressive spacing control. So to deal with this, I would recommend, you know, if you have like an orbital, that would be ideal. Not every character has that, so sometimes you gotta, you know, you can look for the low parries. If you got the real read on the timing, let the hop kick rip. If you got one, you know, otherwise whatever low crush you have. It definitely, one thing that helps Paul is that low parries were nerfed in this game, so. Please enjoy this pre-selected consumer encouragement video. Alright, let's deal with this stance shit, because the stance is a little bit weird. And I guess, I don't know if you want to call it a stance, but he's got the 1, which is like an overhead mid. He's got the 2, which is the fast heat engager mid. He's got the homing high. That's plus on block. You're going to see that one a lot. And then he's got a nasty low that high crushes and counter hits. And he's also got the 1+2, which also has some evasion on it. So if you jab, that 1+2 is going to get you. So our basic choices here, if we just limit his options momentarily, our basic choices for sway is sidestep right block can be good, because this will get us out of everything but the low. Wait, why'd he do that? Yeah, the low's gonna tag you, but it won't, you know, he won't get anything off of it. You gotta block pretty quick to avoid the homing move. The other thing you could do, you could step right duck. And that beats a lot of this. Step duck is actually pretty clean here. The other thing we can do is, it's nice to, instead of just doing a duck, I just saw this in my notes, instead of just doing a duck, sidestep right into low parry, so that you low parry that low. That way you don't have to worry about if he's going to do the extensions or not. I would recommend that. Sway 4 might still catch you because it's fast and he can change the timing on this stuff. Kind of stick with those two options, though. Getting hit by a rogue Sway 4 isn't the worst thing in the world, as long as you're not getting counter hit. I don't recommend mashing into this at all. Because, like, the amount of stuff that beats mashing is a lot. And the reward that you get for mashing is not worth the price of mashing. So, you know, if you're a Paul player and people are mashing after your down forward 1, just play the Sway 4, Sway 1+2 mix-up game, and you'll be very happy. You can add Sway 3 in there as well. So that's kind of the stance in a nutshell. Let's cover a bit of punishment. All right, Death Fist is -17, so it's got a little pushback. You got a lab. What reaches? Most characters at point blank range can launch this. If we're a little bit spaced out, not that spaced out, your launcher might not reach. So then you got to do something different. Something that does reach. So, lab your options, know your options. Some characters, like Reina's probably got to do a just frame 442 to punish it at tip range. So tip range on a lot of characters is pretty safe. There's the punish right there. Down 1+2. Paul players will throw this out to get you off of them because it's his fastest mid. That is -16. So launch that if you can. Not to be confused with his forward 1+4. This is also a shoulder. He sidesteps left and does it here. This one's -14. So if you can't visually identify the difference between the shoulders, just take your 14 framer for both and go about your business. A lot of people ask about Paul's shredder kicks. It's a 2-hit hop kick. So you cannot, it will jail. You cannot get punished for trying to punish the first hit, and the second hit is -13. So keep that in mind. Down forward 1-1-2. Paul players love this string because it's safe. The way that you actually are supposed to punish it is to duck the second hit. It's mid-high mid. Plenty of time to do it. You just have to be ready for it. Now, it's a little tricky because you can mix this with down forward 1 sway, where you might be trying to sidestep and then get clipped. Just keep in mind, if that second hit hits you, you can still block. Paul's forward 2, the classic. He's got 3 options off of his 4-4-2. He has the launching low, he has the safe high, and he has the unsafe mid. Now, 4-4-2 by itself is pretty good. It tracks sidestep left. It's hit confirmable. The low is very slow, right? It's a very slow low. The high, we can duck. So all we got to deal with is the mid. So what we're going to do here is, it's your choice if you want to fuzzy the high too. I just want to fuzzy the mid and the low generally. And if he's doing the high a lot, I'll duck that on a read. Now, when I'm saying fuzzy, I'm ducking late to block the low. Like mid would hit here, low hits here. Mid would hit here, blocking it. Now to punish the low, it's got some pushback on it. That's not the low. -19 with pushback. So you gotta know that's a little too slow. That's gonna whiff. So, low parry. If your character probably doesn't have a thing that reaches this, you're gonna low parry that move. You gotta low parry and not hop kick because we're fuzzying. If you have the hard read that they just like to spam this, yeah, you can hop kick it. Another annoying low of Paul's that everyone loves to hate is his full crouch 1+2 or his quarter circle forward 1+2. Now he has new access to give it even more range. So this is a low launcher, reseeable, only -12 on block, so that doesn't seem great. So this is another one that we want to either hop kick or just low parry. There's one move I almost forgot here. His 4-4 3+4 shredder kick kind of variant has a high, a mid, and a low follow-up off of it. Now, if you're looking at the mid and the low, 13 frame mids will beat both, but that will lose to the high. You could use down jab to beat all 3, which is a standard. Every single character except for Yoshi can access that. And the other option would be if you have a 12 frame mid, it will beat the mid and the low, and it will trade with the high. Okay, that is gonna do it for Mr. Phoenix. He has a very straightforward style, but he has good damage, strong options, and is just generally a solid all-around Tekken character. Hopefully you found this helpful. Do all the liking, the commenting, the subscribing, all that shit. YouTube loves that shit. I'll see you next time. I'm Keith B.